Hi everybody, it's Steve Grizzetti, co-founder of MoviePix.com and author of the MoviePix.com Guide to Vegas Movie Studio Platinum, and here we are in part 7 of our 8-part basic training with Vegas Movie Studio Platinum. Now we've got a nice little movie on our timeline. It's got video clips, it's got music and narration, it's got everything it needs except for titles. Now there are a couple of ways to add titles here in Vegas Movie Studio Platinum. The simplest is to go over here to the Media Generators tab in the upper left of the program. Media generators are tools for creating various video clips, and you can see some of them include checkerboards and patterns, some color gradients, some noise, some solid colors, and even some test patterns. But two of these are text-based. There's the credit roll, self-explanatory. We'll look at that in a minute. And then there's the little more basic titles and text. This is the workhorse for creating titles for your movie. So I'm just going to drag titles and text down here to the timeline. You see by default you get a nice 10-second video clip or video event that is your title. Now I'm just going to widen this a little bit. There we go. And when we add it, we also get a pop-up here of the Media Generators window where we can create our title. Now I'm going to move the playhead over the title so that way we can actually see the title as we create it. Now there are a number of presets for the title, and these presets not only represent text styles, but they also represent animations. Some of them are pretty cool. Action flip, you can see it's actually an animated title. All of these pretty much are animated titles. Bouncing, coming at you. Some are showier than others. They're all actually pretty cool. And I'm going to drag this Media Generators dialog window out of the interface because I want more room to work with it. So I held down the control key and I dragged on the little tab underneath it. And I'm going to widen it a little more. There we go. So a couple of dozen options here for creating animated titles. And of course, once you apply a preset, you can modify it. You can change the fonts, whatever you'd like to do. Let's go ahead and choose a nice one here coming at you. Do know, though, that if you were to, say, customize this title and then you apply a different preset to it, notice your preset overwrites your title with its default preset text. You can, by the way, create your own preset using keyframing and then save it as a preset. We show you how to do that in the book too. But let's go back to coming at you, and we're going to just select the default text and type in Fort Myers. Now, once we've created the text, of course, we can apply any modification we want to it. We can select a different font from this drop-down menu. You can select different text styles or sizes. You can even change the animation if you'd like from this drop-down menu, or create your own custom animation. And as I say, the titles and text templates are kind of the workhorse for creating titles here in the program. Now, at the end of the movie, I'm just going to press Control N to go to the very end of the movie. At the end of the movie, maybe you want to have rolling credits rolling up the screen, and there is a credit roll template here in the Media Generators. We'll just drag that down to the end of our timeline and position our playhead over it so we can see what we're doing, and you can see that these credits roll up the screen. And as you might expect, if you go to the preset menu at the top of the panel, you have a number of options for how this text rolls up the screen. Fun to play with here. Now, the template itself has different text styles. Title text, which is bolded, sub-item text, which is unbolded and also centered underneath it, and then left item and right item, so we can put Steve Grizzetti starring as the killer, Jason Russell starring as the hero. So you can put the credits up that way. Each of these is modifiable. Say, for instance, this headline text here, if we go over here to the Styles tab, we can change that. So we can change the size of that to, say, 28. We can change its font from Arial to, say, something like Asimov, and you can change the color of it, of course, space above and space below. And you can modify any one of these elements. So, for instance, if you want left item to be left justified and right item to be right justified, you can apply that style to them, or even connect the two with dots or underlines or whatever you'd like. So you can see you can do some very nice modification here to your rolling titles. In addition to rolling titles, if you go back here to properties, you see you can also set up your titles to be a timed sequence rather than rolling titles, in which case, rather than rolling up your screen, it will appear based on the timings you set up here in your effect parameters. So despite the fact that this looks like a fairly basic template for creating rolling titles, it actually has a lot of cool options. And there are even ways to pre-type all of your rolling credits in a Word document or in a text document and then import them in. I show you how to do that in the book, so you don't have to manually type them in here. Import them in and make your rolling titles with just a couple of clicks. A lot of cool stuff and lots of ways to customize it for your particular needs. I hope you join me for part 8 because we're going to finally output our movie. I'm Steve Grizzetti. Hope to see you again real soon.